my calculator around on my phone to do the math one more time, but I'll do it later. I'll put it right here. It is, it's so me. Aaron's going, it is very Suzanne. You know, because I am, you know what? I got to noogie myself. It's like self-noogie. I am such a nerd because I started calculating. I'm like, wait a minute. Is that true? 150 years at the rate I print, 150 years of ink in one purchase. All right, it's pretty good. All right, and then you do the math on top of that, it all works. But let's talk about shredding. I have had a shredder from HSN for many years, and I had a really old clunky one years ago that got hot and it stopped and it was awful. Then I upgraded to a new one, then I upgraded to another one because I simply wanted the very best. And I'll tell you what, I personally think everyone should be shredding basically everything, and I do. Receipts, I do any rewards cards that are old, any kind of gift cards I've gotten that I've used up, just anything that can identify anything about me, I will shred. All my mail, the whole thing. And the reason I'm so adamant about it is not only do I know personal stories of people's lives who's been ruined for years because people have fraudulently got their information, but also I want that sense of peace of mind. And we turn to HP for one of the very best. I'm so excited to actually have this in stock. Tonight we have it on sale. It is free shipping. We have 5 flex pays on all 3 items this hour. And this, of course, is their Autofeed Microcut Shredder. Your colors are black, we have surf blue, eucalyptus, we also have indigo, snow white, and thistle. I'm guessing this is thistle, and this is eucalyptus? Oh, purple's thistle, okay. Easy for me to say. Thistle, this is eucalyptus, this is gonna be our blue, that's gonna be the white, this is the black, and then this one officially then is going to be the indigo. Got it. Come on, Aaron. You wonder who the strange man I'm talking to across the way. Here he is.
I'm always glad that I don't have to do colors because I think that's a challenging thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes a little bit hard to line them up. So yeah, eucalyptus, thistle, blue. See, I'm glad I don't have to do them.
This one, Snow White.
Snow White.
Black
indigo.
And indigo.
Indigo
Got
and
it.
black.
All right, shoo-wee.
Now I can show you what it does. Hi, how are you? We get a whole
great.
hour together.
I'm so excited.
Did you guys know HP is the #1 selling brand at this entire network? At HSN, the #1 brand for everything HSN sells is HP. And so what that means is we at HP work really, really hard to bring really great deals and really exclusive deals here. We're gonna show you a printer that printer's wild.
150 years from me.
It is a...
I'm gonna actually put it in my will.
When I'm 200, Suzanne's gonna be printing. So, okay, come on, let me show you how easy it is to do a little bit of shredding here. So, let me start here. First things first, again, HP. We know the HP name, that's for sure, right? All of your tax returns, because that time isn't very far away, right? All the things that you fill out for kids at school and going to camp and all the personal information and all the credit card statements. What are you doing with all of that stuff? It is so important that you don't throw it in the garbage can. And I did, honestly, for years and years and years. And then I watched some of my colleagues here. I always think of Marlo. Gosh, Marlo had an identity theft thing years ago. It was bad. You remember that? She was in Miami. Like, I will never forget that.
My brother had it.
Did he?
My brother Chippy had it. And it is tough to get it.
It's years to repair, right?
And it sneaks up you later. You think, oh, I got it solved, and all of a sudden, something, it's like a whack-a-mole game.
Yeah, that's exactly what's right. It's like, you know, find the next hole. So here's the thing. Don't ever let the holes be created. And that's what this does. Very simply, very easily. This is your Microcut Shredder that does a couple of things. It has an auto document feeder on it. That's the #1. That is the #1. If I didn't have any other time to talk about anything else, I would talk about the auto doc feeder, because what it means is you can put up to 100 sheets in this, and sort of like we're gonna talk about fill it and forget it with your printer in a little bit. This is sort of a set it and forget it kind of thing, right? When you've got a stack of documents.
I got one for you. Ready? Load the tray and walk away.
Oh, that's good. Oh my gosh, we have a Keats here in the studio. Who knew?
Oh, let's not go that far.
A poet laureate next to me. Yeah.
I'll be doing haiku all next hour.
Oh, good.
Join me for my haiku.
We're all really looking forward to that. That's great. So that's how easy it is to fill the tray and walk away. Or if you're being a little more selective about, you know, kind of going through files and saying what do you need to get rid of and doing things, a couple things at a time, this is nice because you can do up to 10 pages at a time will shred, and it totally decimates them. So this, as I said a minute ago, this is called Microcut shredding. Now there's a lot of awesome things about this shredder. A couple things I'll show you quickly though, kind of outside of the shredding itself. I like how mobile it is. It's on casters. Not all of the shredders that we have are on casters, so it's really easy to move. It comes to you pre-assembled. So when you get it home, you don't have to deal with assembling blades and putting together mechanical parts. It's all ready. You basically open the box, pop the casters on, and you're good to go.
Plug it in.
Plug it in. Yeah, plug it in. Good point. It has a 4.5 gallon gallon bin. I'm gonna show you something really cool on this bin in just a minute. There's a little trick door at the bottom there. That's a preview, but this is the kind of confetti shreds that it does. And I wanna talk about these for a minute and kind of do a little history of shredding, if I may. So I'm gonna put this bin back and show you, if you have an older shredder, you might be familiar with other types of shredding. Sort of, the first kind of older type that I'll talk about is strip cut shredding. And the problem with strip cut shredding, which is difficult.
By the way, I like how you slow down when you
hard.
say
Yeah,
that.
I can mess that up. Things can get really bad or really fast with that one, so I'm careful.
Still early.
Yeah, that's right. So there's those long pieces of paper. We'll just do it that way.
There you go.
And, you know, the problem is,
basically can read everything.
you can read most of a social security number there, and it doesn't make sense. The next sort of style was the crosscut, which is better. They were the strips, but then they were, you know, hashed again, but you can still make out a lot of information on these. What we have today is full-on micro-cut shredding. No one could piece together this information. That's what's clear. So it is the safest, best way to shred your document.
And you know what? When you get done doing it, there's something so relieving about getting rid of that pile of paper you've had forever, or the mail that's stacked up 10 miles high. And then beyond that feeling of like, it just feels so good, like almost kind of a Zen thing, right? Then you have this second emotion that happens and you feel relief. It is the most interesting thing, Aaron. Every time I shred, it's relief.
It feels good, right?
Because you know what? It's like, if you ever throw something where it's got important information on, all you can is think about, oh my God, what if somebody gets their hands on it?
Of course.
And so it just drives you crazy. Even if it's subconscious, you think about it. Oh, I kind of tossed that away. Maybe I shouldn't have.
Right.
Guys, once you get a great shredder like this HP, and everyone loves this one, it's so good. The motor is really nice and quiet. My motor on mine at home, and I've had mine for a couple years, which is a different model.
Sure.
It's very loud.
Yeah.
When I I love how it shreds, but man, it is loud.
Yeah.
So HP has now made shredders more quiet, more efficient. You're gonna love the design itself. And again, you know what I like, because I'm space-starved? I like that it's wider, but not super deep.
Yeah.
So you can
that's a good
squish it
point.
inside a cabinet, which is where I have mine.
Since Suzanne moved into a condo, when I buy things, I'm like, okay, would Suzanne buy this? Because you've kind of become the Zen master of space, right? Something we talk about lunch. You lived on a boat for a while, so we think about that. Like, yeah, and when you consider those kind of things, right? What I like that it's wider. I also like that you can push it away. You can push it under your desk.
But I want to show this. Yes.
You know
so if you think, oh my goodness, if you've ever gotten those old shredders, they're really heavy, by the way.
They are.
Super heavy. They get really hot. They stop, you know, halfway through a job, and you're like, I got to walk away for an hour for it to cool off. Look how slim this is. See that? So if you're going to actually put this on a shelf, mine, believe it or not, is on a low shelf. I made space for it, and I can actually shut my cabinets in front of it, and I took the plug out the back of the shelf and plugged it in. So I don't even take mine out. I roll it forward a little bit, and then I do all my shredding, and then I just roll it right back in.
Fold it up and go.
So
right?
convenient, yeah.
It's nice that the autodock feeder on the top folds away as well. Let me show you a couple other things. So I'm going to pop this in. If you're just joining us, I'll remind you, a 100-page auto document feeder on the top, okay? The manual feeder can take up to 10 pages at a time. So I'm going to just grab a couple here, 1, 2, whatever. I'll fold it in half, so that's kind of like doing 4. I'm going to pop that in, and there it goes. You can do those concurrently. Also, this is strong enough to shred credit cards. So I'm just taking credit cards here and popping those in, and it tears through them.
So
There's
good.
no maintenance required. You don't have to lubricate the shredder or anything like that. It is ready to go. No sort of follow-up or maintenance
That's great, because most shredders, you have to use those lubrication sheets.
Yeah, I mean, I've read a lot about, of course, I've also been just using my shredder for years, and I've never lubricated it, and I've read some HP stuff that says it's not necessary. You can, you're not gonna hurt it, but it's not required to do. Also, staples, a lot of shredders will tell you not to put staples through there. That is not the case here, as you can see. I'll just load this one up with staples, just as a little demonstration. Boom, 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 staples all through it, and it goes right in. Now, what we have done, I always feel a little guilty in these presentations, because we go through so much paper because it's so fast. It is so, and I'm like, gosh, I'm gonna just slow this down, but I want you all to see how fast it is. I think it's an important thing to consider when you're buying a shredder. So now we have just about filled the tank. I will point out that on the top, there are lights that tell you if it's overheated, if it's overloaded, or if your bin is full. The bin isn't quite full, but yeah. Actually, Suze, will you meet me in the front and help me for a second?
Sure.
I'm gonna have you hold this, if you would.
Oh, you want me to actually do something?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was literally sliding it over to him.
She's
on
like,
his foot.
yeah, I'll help you.
I was like, here's some help.
Look how my sisters help, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've worked together way too long. It's literally how siblings help each other.
Here we go.
Okay, so here we go. On the back here, there's, like I said, it's kind of like a trap door. So it's just a really easy way to empty the shredder. There you go. So That's all you do, and now we
this
got all that
is
confetti.
significant, because if you've ever pulled a regular shredder out and you try to dump it from this into a trash bag or a trash can,
it's a mess.
Oh my gosh, these little pieces get everywhere.
I always have to dump this into a garbage can when I'm finished with it, and you should see what it looks like.
It's a hot mess, right?
It's a disaster. Yes, getting it out of here.
So I'm telling you that little drop feature, you just go above your trash can, hit it, bleh, and then it's down. That is a game changer. If you know what you're laughing right now, because I'm sure, have you ever tried to dump out your shredder and you got little pieces all over the place? It really kind of makes you crazy.
We should show you guys. We have a still we're going to put out for you guys. It's basically with the, so it's not just Suzanne and I that say, hey, it's a really good idea to buy a shredder. It's, oh, we don't actually have this still. So usually we do. It's not in today's show, but they're basically the FTC recommends that we shred documents, that we shred. Well, in fact, I've got some of them here. That we shred our tax returns, that we shred our bank receipts, that we shred credit card applications. All those sort of things.
I shred envelopes with my name on it. I don't care, man. I shred it all.
Man. I put the whole thing in there, and that's one of the really nice things about this, because it has that 10-page manual slot in the front. You can put the whole piece of mail in there without opening it first.
Oh, hallelujah!
You know what I'm saying? If it didn't have as strong of blades as it has. Oh, and speaking of the word blade, every time I say blades, I think, does that scare people? Which, you know, fair enough. This has auto stop on it as well. So yes, there is a shredding mechanism in there, obviously, that cuts the paper, but it can't run unless this, watch, when I put this back in there, when this is fully engaged, there's a magnetic closure on it. It starts running again. So while there is this, sort of serious shredding mechanism in there, you'll never see it or touch it, or you don't have to worry about anyone putting their hand in there, those kind of things.
What's on the top there in the buttons?
Oh, these buttons you mean? Oh, so this is for, so if you have a jam, I'll tell you, I've been selling these shredders for probably 2 or 3 years. I've never had to use them, but what it is, here, I'll take this out. It's forward and reverse. So it moves the shredding rollers forward and in reverse. If you do have a jam, you can move that's moving the shredders forward, and then it will stop, or it will check to make sure it's cleared, and then it will move it in reverse, and that's it, and then that ends.
Now,
so
does it just sit there ready to go until it senses paper?
That's exactly right. So right now I have it turned on. You can turn it on and off. Okay, so I just turned it off, right? I'm gonna turn it on, and now it is, to your point, ready to go. So you can walk out, if you pop something in the manual slot here, we'll do that, or if you put a hunk of papers, or a hunk of documents that you need to shred, that is your personal information that isn't safe anywhere else. Your financial information, your utility bills, your credit card bills, your tax documents. If you put any of that kind of stuff into the AutoDoc feeder up to 100 pages, it will shred right through it.
By the way, the black is the most popular. You guys are loving that one. Then I have the indigo blue beside me. Up here in front, this is going to be the eucalyptus?
Thistle.
Thistle, daggone it. When I think thistle, I think green. I don't know why. Is it thistle purple?
Me too, actually. I don't know.
Okay, so eucalyptus is green. So this is thistle, this is eucalyptus, this is gonna be officially the surf blue, and then that's the snow white. The first two that are the most limited, though, will be the thistle purple and the eucalyptus green.
Because those are the hardest ones.
I know, of course, right? Yeah. Those two are going to be the first that will be sold out. And the other thing you're going to absolutely love, if you have years of stuff piled on shelves in the attic, if you've got paperwork out in the garage in boxes, the relief of getting rid of that and grabbing all that space, kind of reclaiming that space, I'm not kidding you. It's like you've taken the weight of the world off your shoulders. I know it sounds a little bit dramatic, but I'm A-okay saying that because it really is. My gosh, if you've just got paper clutter because you're too afraid to throw anything away, grab that shredder. It's a game changer. And you know what? You got 30 days to shred it all up. If you don't love it, send it back or refund your money. Hey, by the way, right now is a superior time to get our HSN card. Sometimes we do $20 savings, sometimes do 10, 20, 30, 40, but we rarely go to $50. So here's what happens. You apply for the card. If you're approved, whatever you're buying for that very first item, that first purchase, we're gonna take $50 off. So for example, on the shredder, I don't know, we're at 80 some dollars maybe? I'm not good at math, 80 some? Okay, so I brought my phone to calculate. And so that would be awesome. So grab your card and then you have VIP access to a bunch of more offers and deals because you have the card. By the way, it's National Photo Month. Check out all of our great photography items on hsn.com.